All 7 billion people on Earth have simultaneously been transported to a virtual world. Everyone starts out with nothing but a shabby, drafty wooden cabin. Everyone is struggling to survive in the cold and hunger. Even the best wilderness survival experts are racking their brains just for a sip of water. But you are staring at spiritual spring water so plentiful, it's only good for watering the land. Even leftover food you casually feed your pets is a tribute-boosting braised pork. At that moment, a cold voice suddenly exploded in everyone's mind. Welcome to the global virtual survival world. From today onward, you have only one task: survive. You suddenly open your eyes and realize you're lying on the rotten floor of a broken wooden cabin. Underneath you is nothing but a pitifully thin straw mat. A chill crawls up your spine. Instinctively, you wrap your thin clothes tighter around yourself. You quickly scan your surroundings. This cabin is completely bare. A broken table sits in the center. Your pupils contract sharply. Yesterday, you were sleeping comfortably in your own bed. How did you end up in this weird place after one night's sleep? Whoosh. A piercing cold wind blows through the cracks in the wooden planks. You can even see in the pitch-black darkness outside the cabin. Something seems to be drifting in the night. Sudden panic grips your heart. Before you can think further, that indifferent voice rings out again. Put away your cheap fear. Pitiful humans, you are the nightmare of the virtual jungle. If you want to survive, remember the following rules. First, the cabin you're in is the only relatively safe place. Upgrade it, reinforce it. Second, gather supplies with all your might during the daytime. Water, food, wood, stone. You need all of them. Third, cherish the daytime. Because darkness and disaster are the eternal melody here, make sure you return to your shelter before nightfall. Fourth, watch out for natural disasters. Cold, heat, torrential rain, blizzards. They can easily defeat you. Fifth, hope exists, but disaster might too. Beware the darkness of human nature. Sixth, the virtual survival handbook on the table is your only cheat tool. Use it to communicate and trade with other survivors, or to better understand this hopeless world. Weak humans struggle to survive. The voice finally fades. You furrow your brow. It takes you a long while before you are forced to accept this harsh reality. All humanity has been thrown into a dangerous survival game. You immediately stand up, walk quickly to the table, and as expected, there's a rustic leather-bound book lying on the beat-up table, and a worn stone axe. You grab the virtual survival handbook first, and, by the dim light of the oil lamp on the table, flip through it quickly. The contents of the manual confirm the voice's instructions. It shows today's weather, the length of daytime, even gives upcoming climate trends. A cold wave is approaching. Daytime will get shorter and shorter. For someone with absolutely nothing, it's truly a hellish start. Next, a world chat channel tag catches your attention. You tap it open and see there are over 7 billion users online. It's actually all of humanity. Not a single elderly person, child, or even sick person has been left out, which means countless people will be eliminated early on. Meanwhile, other survivors have also discovered this feature. The chat channel explodes instantly. Anyone here? Where the hell is this place? I was just watching videos. How did I go black in front of my eyes and land in this crappy cabin? Is this being filmed for TV? Which film crew? What a massive operation. Stop being dumb, upstairs. Look at the number, we've all been brought here. So scary, it's pitch black outside the door. The wind sounds like crying. So cold, the temperature here must be just a few degrees. It's freezing people to death. Messages are flooding the screen like a waterfall. You can't even keep up. You calmly observe, resisting the urge to say something. You can only send 5 messages a day, so you need to use them wisely. You quickly extract key info from the chaotic messages. First, everyone has crossed over. That's a fact. Second, this isn't a game. There's a power far beyond human imagination behind it. I thought I was dreaming. One blink and I've lost my home. Where is everyone? Can we meet up? Don't even think about it, bro. Did you read the instructions? Everyone is at least 50 kilometers apart. Damn, I finally got my girlfriend to a hotel. Was just about to relax. Someone please save me. Hang in there, bro. Stop complaining. Don't you feel it's getting colder? Are we really going to freeze on day 1? It's almost below 0 here. All I'm wearing is a t-shirt. Damn, something's scratching my door outside. I'm scared out of my mind. Bro, I think this is the starter gift pack. Don't be afraid, go outside and deal with it. Yeah, right. I don't believe you. That old man is really evil. Let's all just tough it out and wait for daylight. Absolutely, don't go outside. The chat topics gradually get back on track. People start realizing how serious this situation is. You observe all of this, falling into deep thought. Looks like everyone's situation is about the same. In this world, former status, wealth, and identity mean nothing. Everyone is just a survivor, open and equal. You glance at the unremarkable chat channel and close the manual. Though your mind is racing, you force yourself to stay calm. What matters most now is conserving energy to prepare for tomorrow. In the biting cold, you curl up on the straw mat with the howling wind outside, an unknown rustling sounds, and fall into a deep sleep. Day 2. Sunlight shines through the gaps in the boards onto your face. You awaken suddenly. You know today is crucial for survival. You quickly focus yourself, rush to the window and look outside. You see a dense grassy field. Towering trees are not far away. It's cold, yet vibrant with life. You don't dare to go out recklessly, so you open the virtual survival handbook first. Today's weather, clear skies. Good for going outside. Daylight lasts 6 hours. Temperature, P-18 degrees Celsius. Climate trend, cold wave approaching. Gather supplies quickly and keep warm. There are only 6 hours of daylight. You immediately flip to the shelter info page and confirm again. Target is level 1 wooden cabin shelter. 10 square meters. A shabby cabin, barely able to keep out wind or rain. Upgrade it as soon as possible. Upgrade requirements. Wood 100. Stone 50. The goal is clear. Collect wood and stone. At this point, the world channel is already full of whales. I'm freezing. This crappy cabin still leaks wind. I'm so hungry. Does anyone have food? I'll trade 200,000 for it. At this point, what's the difference between money and paper upstairs? I've said it, the first task is to upgrade the wooden cabin. Guys, I've already started chopping. Wow, things are getting intense now. Bro, stay steady since there's no danger. Then I'm heading out too. Thanks for testing the waters for me. 6th, bro, you didn't look around anymore. You tuck the handbook into your chest. You grab the food axe from the table. Ordinary grade food axe, described as the simplest axe. Barely usable. You curl your lips. This thing looks way too shabby. But it's better than nothing. You push the door open. Take a deep breath of fresh air. Carefully step into the ankle-deep grass. A few minutes later, you arrive at the edge of the woods. No more hesitation. You swing the stone axe towards a tree.
Bang!
The stone axe only leaves a shallow cut on the tree. The shock makes your hands go numb. You grit your teeth and keep swinging desperately. Bang, bang. 15 whole minutes pass. You finally chop it down, drenched in sweat. A single tree only yields 6 units of wood. You gasp and complain about the low efficiency. You push yourself to chop 2 more trees. An hour just flies by. And you barely have 18 units of wood. You decide to take a break first. You haul the wood back to the cabin. You're well aware, at this rate, no way you can upgrade the cabin today. Just gathering enough wood is uncertain. Not to mention the stones you haven't even found yet. And most crucially, food and water are still unsolved. You move the wood back to the cabin, just about to explore in a different direction. But right at this moment, you spot out of the corner of your eye a metallic glint in the grass nearby. It's a bronze-colored supply box. You're instantly ecstatic. You pinch your thigh hard. After making sure it's not a hallucination, you rush over immediately. According to the handbook, supply boxes are the main way to get rare materials. Quality ranges from wood, bronze, silver, to crystal. You only hope to find a wooden box at first, but didn't expect your luck to be this good. Starting off with a bronze box. With excitement in your heart, you yank open the box lid. Buzz a blue light flashes by. 3 items are lying quietly inside the box. The first is a black iron pickaxe. Name: gold iron pickaxe, grade good, description: a quality pickaxe. For mining ore. It's a notch above the novice one. Good stuff, you take it without hesitation. The second item is a glowing orb. There's a miniature model suspended inside. With a thought, info appears. Name: spirit field, grade good, description: used for indoor planting. Can slightly increase seed growth speed. This is a treasure for steady food production. Even if you don't use it, you can trade it on the platform. It'll fetch you a pile of supplies. You almost burst out laughing. The last item is a scroll. A manufacturing scroll. You mutter to yourself. Unable to wait, you eagerly unfold it. Name: healing potion recipe scroll, grade good. Materials: tree root, life source 1. Purified water, 50 milliliters. Effect: heals minor injuries, such as colds, fevers, or external wounds. A look of extreme joy appears on your face. Out in the wild, the biggest fear is illness or injury. This healing potion is basically hard currency. It'll never be hard to sell. The only trouble is, you've never even heard of life source among the materials. But judging by the name, most likely needs to be obtained from animals. Looks like making the potion will have to wait. The most urgent thing now is still finding food. You put the spirit field and scroll back in the cabin. Then bring the stone axe and brand new iron pickaxe. Head out once again. Still choosing the lucky northern route. But after walking for a long time, the north is still endless weeds. Didn't even find a single hair. This place is so poor. You can't help but complain. Soon, you've reached the boundary of the 300-meter safe zone. Thin wisps of fog float ahead. Stay still or go in. Service zone means unknown danger. But you only hesitate for a moment, then make up your mind. Step right in. 300 meters is just way too small. And resources are so scarce. If you don't take risks, you'll just be eliminated. What you didn't expect. Just 100 meters into the service zone. You struck it lucky. There's a spread of rocks all over the ground. Exactly the stones needed to upgrade the cabin. You're relieved. Note the location. Continue exploring deeper cautiously. But after nearly another kilometer, aside from thicker fog, you find absolutely nothing. Seeing as 2 hours have already passed, wandering aimlessly won't work. You make a quick decision. Stop exploring. Head back to the stone area.
Take out the good grade iron pickaxe.
You start mining feverishly. Ding ding dit, pickaxe is super efficient. You can gather a unit of stone in just a few minutes. But the recoil force is shocking. Soon your hands are aching. Your back is almost bent out of shape. Living like a shut-in really takes a toll. You hold your back and chuckle bitterly. You grit your teeth and endure for 3.5 hours. Mined a total of 163 units of stone. Only half an hour left until dark. The sky is already getting dim. Temperature drops suddenly to freezing. The cold front is really coming. You don't dare stay longer. Force yourself to move despite exhaustion. Using the bronze box you found as a cart. Start hauling the stones. Back and forth for 4 whole trips. Finally get all the stones near the cabin. Dragging the last box of stones. Out of breath, you hurry toward the cabin. It gets darker and darker. The cabin's faint lights become your only comfort. Just then,
Ban.
You trip hard over something under your feet. Fall on your butt. What the heck? I remember there's nothing here. You rub your back, cold sweat pouring out. But seeing the lights nearby, you finally relax. Curious, you look back. Eyes widen instantly. Another supply box. A wooden box is tipped right at your feet. Even walking, I can find treasures. You laugh excitedly. The frustration of not finding food during the day is gone. No time to think. You grab the wooden box and stones. Before it gets completely dark, rush back to the cabin, rolling and scrambling. Phew! As soon as you enter, you collapse on the floor. Take deep, heavy breaths. Your face is full of uncontrollable joy. You can't wait to open that wooden supply box. No cool bronze light effect this time. The lid just creaks open. Inside are 3 items as well. A bottle of water and 2 glowing spheres. You pick up that bottle of mineral water, and without a second thought, you gulp down half of it. From yesterday until now, not a single drop of water has touched your lips. After hours of heavy physical labor, you were so thirsty you felt like you were smoking. With half a bottle of water down, you feel like you've finally come back to life. Next, you open those 2 light orbs. A blanket and 20 units of wood. Though the blanket isn't thick, draping it over your body instantly dispels much of the chill. It's truly a godsend. Having finished taking stock of the day's harvest, you look at this refreshed wooden cabin, filled with a sense of accomplishment. In the right corner, 163 stones are piled up, along with a total of 38 units of wood. Beside them is the empty forest plot, and 2 supply crates you're using as storage bins. You lie down on the straw mat, pillowed by a wooden crate, covered with a warm blanket. Even this humble life seems to have become happy. However, just then, gurgle gurgle, your stomach starts growling uncontrollably. You rub your belly helplessly. After searching for ages, you still haven't found any food. You wonder if you can trade for some food on the exchange platform. You take a deep breath and flip open that shimmering void survival guide. Meanwhile, the world chat channel has already exploded. Information is scrolling faster than a waterfall. 6 hours of daylight, 18 hours of darkness. The time distribution in this place is enough to drive anyone insane. Even if you sleep for a full 12 hours, you still have 6 whole hours to stare blankly at this empty wooden cabin. Besides a straw mat and a broken table under your butt, and a dim oil lamp, what else is there? Oh, there's also the wood you worked yourself to death to chop during the day. How do you get through this long night? By scrolling through the chat channel, of course. You have to admit, being alone in such a strange place, loneliness and fear will eventually consume you. Watching the banter of random netizens has become your only spiritual solace. Starving, I'm really starving. Who has food? Can I get a bite? The guy above is a verified cyber beggar. Stop laughing. If we don't find food soon, we'll all become beggars. Holy crap, you guys can't find food either? I thought it was just my plot of land that was barren. Who isn't in the same boat? As far as I can see, it's nothing but weeds. Not even a single edible root. Count your blessings. I started in a literal primeval forest, found no food, and stepped into a quagmire the moment I walked out. I almost didn't make it out. Hey, stop talking, everyone. I'm on a mountaintop, and it's already starting to snow outside. It's so cold. The channel is filled with wails of despair, but there are always a few children of fortune who jump out to trigger everyone. Are you guys all doing that bad? I spawned right by a river, walked a few steps and found a patch of potatoes. Instantly comfortable. The screen is flooded with a series of question marks. Brother upstairs, go home and check. Your family's luck just exploded. Looking at these chat logs, your heart feels heavy too. It seems most people are in a similar situation. Resources are extremely scarce. Water has become the biggest immediate problem. Many people, like you, haven't even seen a hint of water. Consequently, the first hard currency appeared on the exchange market, fresh water. But you'd never guess that a fatal problem has emerged. There are no containers to hold water. The rules of the trading system are very rigid. Items are teleported to the other person's cabin. If there is no container, the water just splashes all over the floor. You can't drink a single drop. Now both the buyers and sellers are dumbfounded. Buyer, my God, my water disappeared right in front of me. Seller, my resources. It looks like we can trade, but in reality we can't. This problem directly leads to the cruel crafting rules of this world. In this wooden cabin, only upgrading the building can be done directly through the system. If you want to make a cup, it's not something that automatically synthesizes by putting wood in. You must have a crafting scroll. Otherwise, you have to do it yourself, literally carving a hole in a piece of wood to use as a bowl. The efficiency of such an operation is horrifyingly low. Man, at a time like this, if someone had a crafting scroll for disposable cups, wouldn't they make a fortune? You can't help but smack your lips. Of course, that's just wishful thinking. Scrolls depend on luck. In an instant, the exchange market has turned into a total mess. How can your heart be so black? 20 milliliters of water for 1 unit of wood? Chopping wood all day isn't enough for a sip of water. Take it or leave it. Anyway, I have the water. Plenty of people are fighting for it. If you're not buying, shut up. Sorry. Actually, no one is buying anymore. Let's all boycott these unscrupulous merchants. The chaos doesn't last long. The market soon spontaneously forms. A relatively stable price. 100 milliliters of fresh water for 1 unit of wood. At this price, most people can accept it by gritting their teeth. In the exchange market, you search for life essence and seeds, but you are blinded by the various listed items. Half a radish for 100 wood or 50 stones. Notice the tooth marks on it? They aren't mine. They're from an animal. Thermal clothing, 1 piece for 100 stones. Essential for resisting the cold wave, chair. Crafting scroll for 200 wood plus 100 stones. Cucumber seeds for 50 stones. DM for details. Looking at these broken prices, you take a sharp breath. Working yourself to death all day only gets you 70 or 80 wood. This isn't even enough to afford a meal, let alone upgrading the cabin to resist the cold wave. You notice that the number of people in the regional channel and the total number of survivors is visibly decreasing. This place really eliminates people. Your gaze falls on the account of that potato guy. Potatoes now, those are good. You can plant them just by cutting them into pieces. High yield and easy to grow. You open the private chat with someone named Lu Yuan, your fingers quickly typing a line. Hello, how many potatoes do you have left? I'll trade stones with you. After sending the message, you intentionally act not so eager, to avoid being overcharged by the other party. Just then, on everyone's Void survival guide, a crimson announcement suddenly pops up. Void announcement. Congratulations to everyone for surviving the first day. But this is only the beginning. A cold wave is approaching. On the first day, some lucky ones have already received the Void's gift. Supply crates. Today's supply crate acquisition rate. Lumber supply box 1,286%. Bronze supply box 0.0142%. Temporary mission now announced. Survivors who upgrade their cabin on the first day will receive a beginner survival package. In an instant, the entire world chat channel exploded. What the heck? How come I didn't know about the supply box? What did I miss? If only I hadn't chopped trees today. Should have explored more. You see, you didn't believe me before. Now you believe, right? Come on, come on. I still have half a piece of bread left from the lumber supply box. Trade for 20 stones. Offer expires soon. Bronze supply box 0.00142%. How many people is that? Let me check. Not even 100,000. Man, I was hoping to quietly make a fortune. Didn't expect the official to notice. The little bronze supply box is nothing special. Don't be too jealous, everyone. Look at the channel. So many luckiest guys jumping out to show off. You can't help but sigh. With so many people, there's all kinds of lucky ones. But someone like you getting 2 supply boxes in a row is probably super rare. Hey, what did the big guys find inside their boxes? Show us what you got. As soon as you said that, info on several items was tossed right onto the public screen. You just glanced at it and couldn't help but gasp. These hardcore people, what insane luck did they have? Name, Sanctuary Shield Premium. Effect, centered on your shelter. Creates a 10-meter radius of light. Resists outside attacks and harsh weather. Description, the top choice for protecting your home. Right after, someone named Zhao Zhenhai spoke up. Zhao Zhenhai, this is an item I got from the bronze supply box. I'm planning to establish a mutual aid alliance, only recruiting allies with special resources. For example, a large amount of water sources and rocks, or items that can produce scrolls. If you're interested, message me privately. This guy is ruthless.
Taking advantage of the chance to showcase artifacts.
He's recruiting directly in the global channel, starting to build his own faction. You admit you're a little tempted. Your healing potion scroll is definitely hard currency. Join his alliance. There are lots of benefits, but you're not rushing to decide yet. Right after that, even more eye-catching items were shown off. Name, Void Satchel, quality good. Function, contains 5 cubic meters of storage space. Description, artifact for gathering resources outdoors. Name, Barrier Spirit Lantern, quality, excellent. Function, works in foggy areas, and can form a 5-meter radius service zone. Also lowers the chance of being discovered. Description, thick fog can't stop me from moving forward. Whoa. Wow, big boss. Let me get close for some luck. Rub off some good fortune. Watching this makes your teeth hurt too. It seems quite a few people got good stuff. With a base population of 7 billion, nearly 100,000 people got the bronze supply box. That means at least a few hundred people scored excellent quality items. Even so, you remain very confident. Your healing potion scroll is no worse than theirs. Amid all the bragging chatter, you're thinking about your own development path while opening up one item that piques your special interest. Name, Guardian Bramblewood, attribute, good. Function, can be planted outside the shelter. Effectively protects against enemy intrusions. Absorbs nutrients through plant growth. Description, defender of the homestead. But be careful to keep it fed. It eats a lot. This thing is practically made for you. Seller is a woman named Shen Qingyu. You quickly make contact with her. You find out she has 2 plants. One is wood attribute, the other is life attribute. These 2 plants weren't found from supply boxes. She discovered them near her cabin. They were barely alive at the time. Now, thanks to that annoying temporary mission, everyone's desperate to get upgrade coins. Stone prices keep rising. Shen Qingyu quotes 50 units of stone and 30 units of wood. You immediately smell a business opportunity. And you sense the price gouging? It's way too expensive. You know the current market price for stone and wood. Shen Qingyu heard someone mention it in the channel before. There might be monster attacks on shelters tonight. Having this greatly raises the safety factor. You also pointed out, the economy is weak and needs time to grow. Shen Qingyu, do you have enough stone? I need 43 stones. The rest can be negotiated. You frowned. The price is still too high. The stones you hold are hard currency right now. They can be exchanged for massive resources. While you hesitate, Shen Qingyu sends another message. Shen Qingyu, I can trade you some info instead. You're intrigued, but you still refuse to budge verbally. What info? You know, empty promises don't work here. Shen Qingyu, I can share the info first. If you think it's worth it, then we'll trade. Plus, I have fresh water nearby, and I can supply it to you for free. If you trust me. Right after she finished, a trade notification popped up. Trade info. Shen Qingyu trades 561 milliliters river water for a weed. You pluck a weed at your doorstep and click to agree. Soon after, a chunk of wood with a dug hole full of water was delivered. Tell me your info. If it's valuable, I'll make the trade with you. Shen Qingyu, actually I found 3 guardian brambles. One of them was Earth attribute. I traded that to Zhao Zhenhai. The info I'm sharing now is what I got from him. You're instantly drawn in. Shen Qingyu, Zhao Zhenhai's sanctuary shield, wasn't from a supply box. He entered a place called the Trial Land. Trial Land. That word gives you a jolt. Shen Qingyu, yes. Zhao Zhenhai didn't sleep at all last night.
He rushed out the moment daylight hit.
He found a stone pillar not far from the shelter. Approaching it reveals info about the trial land. Trial land only appears in the first 3 minutes of daytime. You can only enter once. After he entered, the trial land judged his cabin level, amount and value of resources collected, exploration range and other stats. Then evaluated him and awarded a prize. Since everyone else stayed inside, he was the only one to go out and chop trees. So his rank was super high. I bet he got more than just the shield. To earn your trust, Shen Qingyu even sent her chat log with Zhao Zhanhai, along with a picture of the trial land stone pillar. To you. You're pretty much convinced now. Even if it's fake, it's still worth the risk. The reward is just too tempting. I don't have any fresh water nearby. I can trade with you, but you'll have to supply me with water long term. Shen Qingyu, awesome. Don't worry, I'll add you as a friend. Your daily water will be covered by me from now on. You immediately submit a trade request, directly exchanging 50 stones for the wood. Attribute Guardian Bramble. You guessed. She needed 43 stones and 30 wood to upgrade her shelter. The extra 7 stones are enough for her to swap for enough wood. It's an investment and a favor. As soon as the trade succeeds, a bramble as thick as a baby's arm, covered in sharp green thorns, appears before you. It looks wilted, severely malnourished. You grab a handful of grass from outside and place it at the base. Its roots start to wriggle slightly. The weeds quickly turn yellow and finally become nutrients. You breathe a sigh of relief and place it in the spirit field to rejuvenate. Next, you instantly open the trading market. It's prime trading time now. At a 5-to-1 rate, you trade the remaining 13 stones for 65 units of wood with ease. You've gathered enough wood material. Without hesitation, you click to upgrade your shelter. A white light envelops the whole cabin. In 5 seconds, the old drafty hut is reborn, turning into a solid house with tightly joined walls and thick stone blocks laid on the floor. The area increases from 10 square meters to 30 square meters. The oil lamp on the table shines brighter, as if the light of hope is burning strong. Meanwhile, shelter info has changed. Shelter level 2 cabin, 30 square meters. You notice, level 2 cabin can have 7 facilities, but only space for 4. Bedroom, living room, warehouse, workroom, kitchen, outdoor balcony, beast pen. Your mind races. The workspace must have the essentials for making scrolls. The warehouse and animal barn are temporarily useless, except for the kitchen, which has an iron pot. The balcony can be used to grow things, all of which are needed. There's a stove in the living room for heating. Oh right, the living room can be used directly as a bedroom. You nodded in satisfaction. The plan was finalized. Next, you turned your gaze to the table. A package appeared out of thin air. This is the rookie survival kit. With excitement, you opened the package. Bronze supply crate. Your pupils contracted. Aside from the familiar bronze supply crate, there were also 3 glowing orbs floating quietly nearby. You opened the orbs first. A 5-liter bucket of mineral water. A brick-sized block of compressed biscuits. A thick cotton coat. Wow, these rewards are so straightforward. You couldn't help but slap your thigh. With these 3 items, the pressure for early-stage survival suddenly eased a lot. You realize only the strong or the lucky ones are able to upgrade their shelter on the first day. Now, with this batch of supplies, the gap will only grow wider. And you just happen to be among the elite few at the top of the pyramid. You glance at the time. 8 p.m. There's only 4 hours left, until midnight when the temporary task ends. You flipped open the survival guide of the realm again. Golden light flickered in your eyes. Tomorrow morning you'll head to the trial grounds. The evaluation criteria include the quantity and value of resources. You have to use the last bit of time and the remaining 50 stones in your hand to scout the market for things people have overlooked, but have truly high value. You already have your target in mind. Those who really want to upgrade are most likely to trade. Crafting scrolls. Some list with a high price at random. Some are just one step away. so the price is more reasonable. You're like a top-tier hunter, patiently searching for your prey in the vast sea of trades. Finally, two seemingly ordinary, but eye-catching scrolls appeared in your sights. Name: premium charcoal recipe material, wood. Use: makes beautiful. Charcoal burns longer and less smoke. This is very practical. The price is fair too, only 23 stones. You immediately understood. For those who can't even solve basic needs, it seems extravagant to use scarce wood for charcoal. It's a bit much, but you're willing to improve your quality of life. This deal is a sure bet. The other scroll is a little bizarre. Name: stone pillar totem. Crafting recipe: premium material, stone. Use: decoration. Improves shelter aesthetics. It can't generate electricity, but it's long, straight, and sturdy. The corner of your mouth twitched. Premium decorative stone pillar totem. You can already imagine the unlucky person who got it, with a face worse than eating bitter melon. But you value its premium quality. No matter how useless, premium is still premium. It'll definitely add points in trial grounds evaluations. So after some easy bargaining, you got it for 22 stones. Just then, a message suddenly popped up. It's Potato Bro, Lu Yuan. Lu Yuan. A fist-sized potato for 30 compressed biscuits. Your pupils contracted. This guy knows about compressed biscuits, which means he's upgraded to level 2 as well. Shelters don't lack stones anymore. This business isn't easy. You tentatively replied, "What compressed biscuits? Did you get them from a supply crate?" Meanwhile, in a corner of the realm world, a messy-haired youth was wrapped up in a cotton coat, typing madly by the stove. That's Lu Yuan. People aren't easy to fool these days. Lu Yuan muttered as he looked at your reply. But just upgraded to a level 2 shelter, still having extra money, to buy my stone pillar totem and charcoal scroll. This guy isn't ordinary either. You're staring at the screen, feeling uneasy inside. How did he know I had compressed biscuits? Just because I spent a few dozen stones? Wait, lots of people are shopping right now. Suddenly, a light bulb goes off in your head. I traded with you for the stone pillar totem. Crafting blueprint. Lu Yuan is obviously stunned over there. You press the attack. No way, are both scrolls yours? Sure enough, Lu Yuan can't hold it together for long. Lu Yuan, true brother, is me. To be honest, I never thought anyone would actually buy a stone pillar totem. Wait, are you treating me like an idiot? Since you're an old customer now, how many potatoes can 5 stones get me? Lu Yuan agrees readily. Let's be friends. 1 stone for 1 potato. Trade request. Lu Yuan trades 5 units of potatoes for 5 units of stones. You click confirm without hesitation. Even though stone prices are kind of inflated right now, getting 5 potatoes that can be used as seeds is definitely a good deal. Trade complete. You both add each other as friends. Agree to reach out if you need anything in the future. Now you've spent all your resources. Only one thing left. Opening boxes. You rub your hands together. Open the bronze supply box from the starter pack. A flash of starlight. 4 items appear. 3 light orbs. And a scroll. You pick up the scroll first. Name: 10 milliliters wooden liquor cup. Recipe scroll, fine grade description. Good liquor, don't overdo it. Seeing the cup container, you get excited inside. But after seeing it's a 10 milliliters liquor cup, you suddenly feel a chill. Who's got time to drink in a place like this? You helplessly toss it aside. Then you open the first light orb. Name: Universal Horn. Special function: message and world channel. Pinned personally for 1 day. Isn't this what someone was bragging about earlier? You think it's not bad? At least it'll be easier to shout out messages now. Second orb opened. You are instantly shocked. Name: Premium Mud. Function: creates a 10 square meter open space. Doesn't count toward original shelter area. It's loaded with goods. Facility item: premium grade. Expands your area by 10 square m outside the original 30 square m. This section also receives shelter protection, whether for farming, animal husbandry, or as a warehouse. It's incredibly useful. Your cheeks flush with excitement. You eagerly open the last orb with high hopes. Name: bread. 5 fine grade items. A solid reward. Food is always the hard currency. You happily munch on bread? Use the last bit of wood to light the bonfire? Lie down under a warm blanket and sleep soundly. Itch? What time is it? You wake up groggy from the cold.
Take out the survival guide to check.
Less than 1 hour till dawn. The wind outside rattles the wooden cabin. Even with a cotton coat and a blanket, you still feel a chill. Time's up. You rush out of the cabin. Following the info provided by Shen King Yu, search frantically inside the confusion zone. Trial ground stone pillar. Why isn't it here? Could I have been tricked? You're panting from running, legs feeling weak. Just when you're about to give up, out of the corner of your eye, you spot a 5 or 6 meter tall white stone pillar. You dash over in a flash. Trial ground stone pillar evaluates survivors' overall strength and gives a reward. Assessment level S, B, C, D, E, F. Trial grounds exists for 7 days. Disappears after 7 days. You choose to confirm your assessment without hesitation. Instantly, a beam of light surrounds you. Listen to the assessment result. Yes. You are shocked. Top 1,000 worldwide. You quickly realize it's all thanks to info advantage. Right now, everyone's strength is pretty similar. Luck plays a 90% role. Right after, a huge roulette wheel appears before your eyes, showing sections for plants, animals, scrolls, buildings, and other 7 categories. S-rank assessment. 2 reward draws. How many items per draw? Minimum grade, premium. The wheel spins fast. Eventually lands on plants and natural resources. Info for 5 premium grade plants floats before your eyes. 4-season temperate wood, changes temperature. Medicinal sunflower, fertilizes soil. Glazed fairy, improves constitution. Vitality bud, heals wounds.
Carrion flower, captures beasts.
You're torn, but finally grit your teeth. Choose a long-term food source, and one that improves constitution. Glazed fairy rice. Next. 5 premium-grade natural resource items appear. Microfire copper mine, microphosphorus mine, hot spring pool, spirit springs eye, black soil. This time, you don't hesitate. Directly pick Spirit Springs Eye. Spirit Springs Eye produces 500 milliliters of energizing spring water daily. Helps regulate body, purifies, and cleanses. Every 7 days yields 1 drop of milk water. A steady, high-quality water supply is just what you needed. Stone pillar disappears. 2 orbs drop into your hands. You return inside and set Spirit Springs Eye in your fenced area. Then plant dozens of translucent glazed fairy rice seeds in your spiritual field. Now, satisfied, you go outside with your shovel to dig more stone. The day passes quickly. At dusk, you return to the cabin exhausted. While munching bread and calculating today's haul, the survival guide suddenly beeps. A series of urgent beeps. Another world announcement is here. Beep, beep, beep. You just took a bite of delicious roast wolf meat. When an urgent beep echoes in your mind, you put down the food immediately. Grab the survival guide. Yet another Crimson World announcement. Survival announcement. Super cold wave is coming soon. To survive the harsh winter, all creatures will enter a frenzied foraging phase. From tomorrow, wildlife activity will sharply increase. Attacking instincts will be much stronger. To help all survivors, supply box refresh rate will increase. Chance of food and clothing appearing will also go up. Face the cold wave head on. Fight to survive. Seeing this announcement, a serious look flashes across your face. You weren't taking the cold wave that seriously at first, but the system's personally stepping in now. It means this disaster will definitely eliminate a huge number of people. For the next few days, all goals must center around battling the cold wave. The chat channel is blowing up right now. Daytime won't be safe either tomorrow.
Damn.
Beasts clawed at my cabin wall on the very first night. Wild animals aren't so bad. Just don't go outside. But what about food? I haven't eaten for 2 days. Found another supply box today. Got 5 loaves of bread. Jealous? Don't get cocky. Upstairs. Trading. I'll use stones for. Forget it. Who would still be selling food at a time like this? Don't you guys think it's getting even colder? It feels like winter in the north where I am. Sigh. There are over 10,000 people in our region. More than 150 have already died. Looking at this information, your heart feels heavy. The word survival has never felt so weightful. You take a deep breath and stuff the rest of the Volf meat into your mouth. Fortunately, the refresh rate of supply crates will increase tomorrow. This is the only chance. In the blink of an eye, because of this announcement, the trading market has become even more heated. Although the price of stones has dropped slightly, it is still a hard currency. Without hesitation, you use 33 stones to trade for 100 units of wood. You flip to the shelter information page and directly click to build a workshop and a living room. Confirm consumption of 50 wood, 10 stones to build the living room. Confirm consumption of 50 wood to build the workshop. Confirm. A flash of white light passes over the house floor plan, appearing before your eyes. You place the 8 square meter living room and workshop side by side on the right side of the log cabin. The white light dissipates, and your little home is neatly divided into 3 areas. You can't wait to walk into the living room. There's a compact stone stove in the corner. You immediately start a fire with the newly bought charcoal. Warmth instantly fills the entire 8 square meter, tiny space. The bright firelight reflects on your face. You let out a long sigh of relief. Much warmer now. You lie comfortably on the straw mat, suddenly feeling it's a bit uncomfortable. It would be great to have a bed. You immediately open the trading market and search for the keyword bed. Dozens of pages of messy information pop up, everything from Hawaiian-style hammocks to trampolines, and manufacturing blueprints for all of them. You filter out the impractical stuff, and finally, set your eyes on a forest-style simple wooden single bed. After some bargaining, you successfully snag it for 13 stones. From now on, you say goodbye to the days of sleeping on the floor. You then casually search for blankets, but the price gives you a shock. A thick lamb wool blanket actually costs 1,000 stones. It's highway robbery. Looks like I'll have to find another way. I'll have to go out and scout more tomorrow, and try to pick up a few more supply crates. You think helplessly. However, when you search the market for life essence, you actually find it. And there are over a dozen pages. You pick a random seller to chat with, and learn that life essence is a concentrated byproduct that only drops after defeating beasts of fine grade or higher. You didn't expect that so many people could already take down fine grade beasts. You are secretly alarmed. You try to buy some, but the prices are all ridiculously high. These people, although they don't know the specific use of life essence, all treat it as a treasure. Suddenly, a special trade listing catches your eye. Life essence. 2 units in exchange for fever reducers or cleansing purifying medicine. Needs medicine? I've got that here. Isn't the water from the Eye of the Spirit Spring ready for use? Not to mention you have healing potions with even better effects. You immediately click the private chat for this person named Han Wu. Hello. How much for the life essence? The other party takes a full 15 minutes to reply. It seems things aren't looking good. Han Wu, only trading for medicine, fever reduction, and cleansing purifying. You raise an eyebrow. It seems the other party is really desperate. Tell me about your situation. Fever reduction and cleansing purifying are 2 different medicines. Han Wu, mainly fever reducers. If they really work, you name the price. I'm a Special Forces soldier. After retiring, I can provide you with life essence long term. To make you believe him, he even sent a screenshot of a hideous wound and a photo of a little girl wrapped in a cotton coat, lying on a straw mat with a flushed face. A child? You're completely bewildered. Han Wu explains. Children with no independent survival skills are assigned to the same shelter as their parents. His daughter is only a little over 4 years old, and she currently has a high fever. She is in urgent need of treatment. It suddenly dawns on you, and a hint of compassion rises in your heart. Surviving alone is hard enough, yet he still has to take care of a family. You no longer hesitate, and directly send over the information for 200 milliliters of spring water. When Han Wu sees the words excellent grade, he is shocked beyond measure, followed by a wave of immense joy. Han Wu, I don't know if this will help, since it's not medicine. You're a retired Special Forces soldier. Your constitution definitely isn't bad. This spring water can strengthen your constitution. It'll be good for your injuries. Besides, I have plenty more. Drinking more will have a better effect. Han Wu understands. He understands that you are demonstrating your strength, while also showing goodwill. It's not me, Han Wu. It's my child who has a fever. The fever is very severe right now. You immediately initiate a trade, exchanging 200 milliliters of spring water for 1 unit of life essence. Han Wu is surprised that you didn't take advantage of his crisis, and immediately clicks agree. Then he sends another trade request, offering another unit of life essence for just 1 unit of yours. The wood is practically a gift. Brother Han Wu, thank you so much. If you ever need me in the future, Han Wu will never say no. You'll definitely find a use for this life essence. Take it as a token of my gratitude. You feel a surge of joy. The spring water is a renewable resource for you. Exchanging it for a future meat supplier and a stable source of life essence is an incredibly profitable deal. You add each other as friends and agree on long-term trading prices. However, just when you think things have settled, the workbench gives a ding. The 2 bottles of healing potion you were making are finished. At this time, Han Wu sends another message. Han Wu, do you have any more spring water? My wound is fine now, but Zhao Yao's fever still hasn't broken. You frown. It seems the spring water can only condition the body. It cannot replace actual medicine after all. You look at the bottle in your hand, a potion radiating life energy, and fall into deep thought. Is the value of 1 healing potion worth investing in Han Wu? Ultimately, you decide to take a gamble. You send over the information for the healing potion. When Han Wu sees terms like restore HP and reduce fever, he is completely stunned. He immediately states that he is willing to exchange all his precious materials for it. You look at the list he sent over a dozen pieces of various meats, an autumn quilt, and a crafting blueprint for an iron pot. You have to admit, this guy definitely has some skills. But you don't take advantage of the situation. You only choose to take 5 pieces of meat, 3 of which are good grade Wolf meat, and that iron pot blueprint. Trade request. Exchange healing potion for meat, 5 units, and the iron pot crafting blueprint. Han Wu stares at the trade request, silent for a long while, his eyes turning red. Little brother Han Wu, thank you. Zhao Yao and I will remember this kindness. You have successfully gained a powerful ally and a stable source of meat for the future. Fiddling with the remaining bottle of healing potion, you decide to test the waters on the trading market first. To make a name for yourself, you list the spring water under healing items, accepting only exchange requests for high-quality items. To your surprise, in just over 10 minutes, your trade notification pings incessantly, instantly blowing up. You filter out the junk messages from those looking for a handout and prioritize checking trade requests for excellent grade items. Dozens of excellent grade items make your eyes dazzle. Ignoring the weird things like stone pillar totems and crafting manuals, you lock your gaze on 3 trade requests. The first one is from a girl named Bai Lu. Trade request, black beetle droppings. Message, can provide long-term, can trade with each other. You click the details. Name, black beetle droppings. Good grade, effect, highly effective organic fertilizer. Can significantly improve soil quality and slightly increase plant growth rates. This is exactly what you need right now. Aren't your glazed immortal, rice, and watcher's thorns lacking nutrients? You immediately add Bai Lu as a friend and quickly finalize a long-term deal with her. 10 milliliters of spring water for 50 grams of black beetle droppings. You are very satisfied with this result. You just don't know if this girl is raising black beetles herself or gathering materials in the wild. Your trade with Bai Lu goes smoothly. She uses 250 grams of black beetle droppings to trade for 50 milliliters of your spring water. Next, you open the second trade request. The other party wants to exchange a plant called purple cloud vine for the spring water. Name, purple cloud vine, excellent. Effect, well-developed root system. Flowers have an insect-repelling effect. Description, An extremely beautiful decorative plant, decoration. You curl your lip. This thing seems flashy but useless. But when your gaze lands on the words extremely well-developed root system, a bold idea suddenly forms in your mind. You add the other person as a friend, someone named Cheng Feng. Brother Cheng Feng, an entire intact purple cloud vine flower, for 200 milliliters of spring water. How about it? You almost laugh out loud. This guy is treating you like a sucker. It's not worth that price. The purple cloud vine flower is pretty, and I just want it for the looks. 50 milliliters, take it or leave it. If not, then forget it. You play on the other party's eagerness to sell. Sure enough, Cheng Feng hesitates for a moment, but still agrees. However, he has to wait until tomorrow daytime to go into the wild to check. The last trade request is a familiar item, a fence. You don't haggle and directly trade 100 milliliters of spring water for it. You have a good sense of this item's value. After the trade is complete, you can't help but marvel. An artifact like the Eye of the Spirit Spring, which can continuously produce resources, is the true hard currency. Then, while stone is still valuable, you decisively sell off all 130 remaining stones in your hand, exchanging them for 390 units of wood. You know clearly in your heart that as more people get pickaxes, stone will soon become a basic material just like wood. Currency. You throw 190 units of wood into the workbench, turning it all into charcoal, preparing for the upcoming harsh winter. It's late at night. You're gnawing on a Wolf meat steak, grilled crispy on the outside and tender inside. Although it doesn't look like much, the good grade meat quality is truly undeniable. After finishing a large steak, you feel your whole body filled with power, and even the exhaustion of the past few days is swept away. The effect of the good grade steak is actually this good. You secretly decide to stockpile more in the future. This thing is practically a mobile energy bar. Having eaten and drunk your fill, you take out the newly traded fence and enclose another 10 square meters outside the yard, expanding your small yard to 20 square meters. It's almost as large as your wooden house now. You take 50 grams of black beetle droppings and a precious tree root, buried at the roots of the watchthorn. Not long after, the withered thorns became much more upright. They looked much more lively. As for the remaining beetle droppings, they were all given to the glass rice seeds in the forest fields. As for those few potatoes, you just found a corner and planted them randomly. Poured some river water on them. Whether they survive is up to their own luck. But it seems you forgot. Potatoes need to sprout before planting. Standing in the chilling, bone-piercing courtyard, you pulled your cotton coat tighter around yourself. A sudden wave of panic surged through your heart. You quickly cleaned everything up and hurried back to the warmth of the little wood stove. The blazing fire dispersed the darkness and cold. Your wildly beating heart finally started to calm down. It's so cold you were frozen awake. The chill in the illusory world has a kind of magic that seeps into your bones. Even with a stove and blankets in the closed cabin, you were still shivering from the cold. You slept very restlessly. You felt dizzy and sluggish. Your whole body was weak. And you kept coughing nonstop. Ooh, you caught a cold. You hurried to drink a few sips of spring water, felt your symptoms ease up a bit, then roasted the remaining half piece of wolf meat and ate it. A warm flow rose up from your stomach. You finally felt alive again. There were still 4 hours until dawn. You didn't want to lie down anymore. Started doing push-ups and planks inside the cabin. After exercising for a while, though your muscles ached, your body finally warmed up. As dawn broke, you ate the final 2 pieces of bread, took your tools, and prepared to face this crucial day. Today's weather, overcast skies, temperature, -48 degrees Fahrenheit. Your main goal today was to scavenge supply crates. You started exploring outward in a fan shape from the east. Sure enough, just as expected, you hadn't gone far, and discovered a lushwood supply crate under a tree. You kept exploring west. In a place you thought was desolate, you surprisingly found a grove of pod trees. Name, pod, common. Use, abundant and filling. Though not very nutritious, this is honest to goodness food. Excited, you open the Lushwood supply crate you just found. A set of plush pajamas, a pair of leather gloves, and a pound of white rice. What a welfare treat. You stuffed the rewards into your pocket and began crazily stuffing pods into the empty crate. The clattering sound was the most beautiful music you've ever heard. You made 3 trips back and forth, hauling a total of 52 pounds of pods in 7 full crates. While you were reaping a huge harvest, you decided to venture deeper into the southern forest for more luck. Just as you reached the edge of the forest, you spotted a huge tree with a tempting blue-green glow atop it. A bronze supply crate. You chopped down the tree in no time and took the treasure chest with you. The loot rate today is incredible. You were in a great mood and carefully walked into the forest with your iron knife in hand. Suddenly, amid a pile of withered yellow leaves, a splash of fresh green caught your attention. Name: White Spruce Premium. Use superior construction wood. Better insulation and defense, plus a natural sleep-aiding aroma. Premium grade timber. You were actually short of breath from excitement. You've always envied others who could just step outside and find treasure, and today, your lucky break had finally come. You immediately concluded, this stuff can absolutely be used to upgrade the shelter. Without a second thought, you took out your nearly broken stone axe and hacked away at the white spruce tree. Premium trees are extremely tough. It took you over half an hour just to take one down. But the rewards were huge. 22 units of timber. The efficiency was more than double compared to normal trees. For the rest of the day, you just kept chopping in the white spruce forest until dusk fell, and your stone axe was completely destroyed. You had collected 85 units of timber and 4 roots. On your way back, you were lucky enough again to find a lumberjack supply crate. But just as you were humming a tune and walking home, a long and fierce beast roar echoes from deep within the forest, followed immediately by the howling of a wolf pack. You're so scared your hair stands on end. Clutching 3 boxes and a pile of wood, you sprinted back to the cabin at full speed. As you slammed the door shut, you collapsed on the floor, your heart pounding wildly. Damn, you almost died out there. You're still breathing heavily, shaken. Looks like the wilderness will only get more dangerous from here on. You definitely don't want to go through that again. Awkwardly heating water with a copper basin, you immediately start preparing water for your bath. 3 liters of boiling water mixed with 2 liters of cold. The temperature is just right. You hide behind the door, braving the bone-chilling wind. You quickly wiped yourself down with a damp cloth. Your body may be rough, but as soon as you put on your brand new plush pajamas, you still feel refreshed and invigorated. Ah, it's the perfect weather for sleeping. You give yourself the perfect excuse and dive right into the 12-pound lamb's wool comforter, instantly wrapped by warmth and softness. As usual, you take out the survival guide for the virtual realm and start browsing. The chat channel is still a mix of joy and frustration. Some people brag about finding 3 or 4 supply boxes. Others complain they didn't even get a single thing. Trade and alliance messages are flashing by fast. Before you know it, you've already adapted to this primitive lifestyle of working at sunrise and resting at sunset. Upgrading the shelter is now your top priority. But first, you need to build a kitchen. You casually list 110 milliliters of spring water in the trade market, priced at 10 milliliters for 50 pieces of stone. You never expected the spring water would be snatched up in seconds after being posted. Wow, that's in high demand. You're shocked. What you don't know is, to those buyers, they feel they're the ones scoring a bargain. Stone and wood can always be acquired if you spend enough time. But spring water can save your life and boost your physical fitness. It's strategic supply. Absolutely a rare treasure with no market price. You now have 550 pieces of stone in hand. You immediately click to build the kitchen. A flash of white light next to your workshop. A kitchen with a stove and iron pot appears. Had you known it was so convenient? Why bother boiling water with so much effort just now? You mutter to yourself. Suddenly you feel hungry. You take out your bag of premium flour. Grab a big handful. As you inhale that familiar wheaty aroma, you actually feel a bit emotional. quickly kneading and rolling the dough, then grilling a high-quality Wolf steak over the fire. Soon after, a steaming bowl of fragrant steak noodles is ready. There's no seasoning or actual bowls. You have to make do with a wash basin. But when you slurp up a huge mouthful of silky noodles, you feel like you've instantly returned to civilized society. A warm rush spreads from your stomach throughout your body, clearing away all fatigue. You even feel slightly stronger, seeing that more than half the noodles remain in the basin. You suddenly think of Han-woo and his 4-year-old daughter. You casually send the leftover noodles, along with the broth and meat, to him. At the same time, in a wooden cabin deep in the forest, a little girl with rosy cheeks is pouting, tearfully telling her father, "Daddy, I don't want to eat steak and nuts anymore. I want rice." Han-woo is helplessly trying to comfort his daughter. Suddenly, a ding sounds. Your trade request has arrived. Han-woo looks at the steaming noodles in the copper basin and feels a warmth in his heart. Cooking extra so the little one gets more nutrition? Han-woo understands. He doesn't say much, just quietly remembers this kindness. After settling Han-woo and his daughter, you start searching for bargains in the trade market. The urgent need is to get a reliable weapon and a new axe. You wanted to see what good stuff spring water brought in. After trading, just then, Han-woo's message arrives. "Han-woo, I've got some stuff here. See if anything is useful to you. Made by Slingshot. Blueprints, premium iron axe, premium Wolfang dagger. 7 or 8 weapon and tool options that dazzle you." "Han, where did you get so many treasures?" Han-woo dropped from hunting beasts. Common beasts drop lumber boxes. Premium ones drop bronze boxes. Most of them contain weapons or tools. You're amazed. Turns out, this is the right way to farm gear. Han-woo, take whatever you want. Don't hesitate, there's more. Xiaoyao loved the noodles you sent. She doesn't hold back. She directly says she needs an axe and a weapon to protect herself. No sooner had she spoken, Han-woo trades over a premium iron axe and a half-meter-long premium machete. "Han-woo, this blade is great. Simple and powerful. I'll teach you some moves later." You're moved. In return, you share information about the trial lands, without holding anything back. The night passes uneventfully. Early the next morning, you take your newly acquired iron axe and machete, head straight for the Beishan woods. Sure enough, the premium iron axe performs well. Before, it took over half an hour to chop down a single Beishan tree. Now it's finished in less than 20 minutes. Like a tireless lumberjack, you chop wood non-stop for 4 hours, harvesting 220 units of Beishan wood and 11 roots. You even scored a bronze supply box. Finally enough to upgrade the shelter. You laugh heartily, then spend almost an hour hauling all your loot back home. You take out 3 of the 11 Beishan roots and toss them to the thornwatch as fertilizer. It absorbs the premium root's energy and grows noticeably faster. At this moment, you remember the dung beetle waste. You get in touch with Bailu. Bailu only has 100 grams. It's really rare. Price will have to rise in future. Trade 20 milliliters of spring water for 50 grams. If you agree, a large deal. Your face turns dark instantly. Are they treating you like a sucker? Without another word, you close the chat directly. What annoys you even more is Shen Qingyu, who promised fresh water, has also started being distant lately, barely responding to you these days. Wow, everyone's so realistic. Frustration sweeps over you. The piercing wind makes your bones ache. You quickly retreat back inside. You eat a few spoonfuls of boiled beans to pad your stomach, then realize it's time to upgrade the shelter. You slap your forehead, cursing your poor memory. You immediately open the upgrade page. Invest 250 units of Beisha wood and 500 units of stone. Confirm shelter upgrade. Upon confirmation, the familiar white light once again envelops your home. A few seconds later, the glow fades. A brand new stone and wood cabin appears before your eyes. Level 3 shelter, solid wood cabin, 100 square meters, much better insulation. Shelter transfer scroll acquired. 1. Level 4 shelter upgrade requirements not met, migration scroll. Your eyes light up. Finally, you can leave this poor place. You take another look at the new facilities you can build in the level 3 shelter. Walls, warehouse, vegetable garden, Schulen. These are all genuinely good things. You start planning for the future while checking out the refreshed shelter. The foundation for the level 3 shelter is 30 centimeters higher. The walls are made of sturdy stone and fragrant white sandwood. Not only do they look solid, but they also provide much better insulation. Inside the bedroom, with the help of the fireplace, the temperature finally rises above 0. At last, you don't have to curl up from the cold anymore. Just then, a beep 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 notification rings out in the room. It's a message from Hanwoo. Name: Animal Trap 3, fine quality. You feel a surge of joy. This thing showed up exactly when you needed it. Brother Han had a pretty good haul today. Hanwoo unlocked a blueprint for crafting. Didn't have enough materials, so he made a few, thinking you might need them. By the way, you'll need some tough vines. Do you have any? Vines. The first thing that comes to mind. Is that Zi Zhao vine you burned as firewood? You wince inside. You push down your regret and reply, not for now. I'll keep an eye out for you. After accepting the traps, you immediately trade 50 milliliters of spring water. People used to exchange favors like this. You know how it goes. You then pull out the bronze supply box that dropped while chopping trees today. As starlight flashes, 3 items quietly lie inside the box. Tomato seeds, fine. Winter wheat seeds, fine. Fertilizer recipe scroll, fine. Damn, you curse out loud. Not because these 3 things are super rare, but because of what they represent. Especially that pack of winter wheat seeds. They can survive in low temperatures. These few words strike your mind like lightning. It means you're about to have a steady supply of food. Noodle freedom. Bread freedom is right around the corner. You carefully put away the seeds and the scroll. Suppressing your excitement, you start browsing the market. But you notice disappointingly that whether it's spare change or blankets, prices are ridiculously high. Human adaptability exceeds your expectations. In just a few days, the chance to strike it rich by scavenging has become almost non-existent. Feeling helpless, you have no choice but to list another batch of spring water, hoping to trade for something useful. Surprisingly, just a few minutes after listing them, the virtual survival guide pings you. Marongzu, are you zooming? Marongzu, you pause for a moment. High school memories flood back instantly. That girl always wore her hair in a high ponytail, jeans, and had a calm demeanor. Class 4 Marongzu? Yep. Never expected it was really you. To run into someone familiar in such a weird place. You're so excited you nearly jump up. You two chat for a long time, talking about what's been going on and future plans. You realize maybe it's the environment, but Marongzu speaks much more than she did in high school. It's so cold. She's a bit sick, and frustrated she can't buy medicine. Without hesitation, you trade 50 milliliters of spring water for a roll of insulating cotton. It's only enough for 15 square meters, so it's way too little, but you accept the gesture. After catching up with your old classmate, the spring water you posted also found buyers. With 100 milliliters of spring water, you successfully trade for a wooden bucket, a recipe scroll, and a set of wooden dishes. Meanwhile, a bold idea forms in your mind. After advertising charcoal on the Huanyu horn, you plan to sell at low prices and make a big profit. Early next morning, before sunrise, the cold wakes you up. You force yourself up and eat a quality steak. Then start working out like crazy, following Hanwoo's method. After sweating buckets, you feel powerful all over. Today's weather, clear skies, temperature 6 to 10 degrees. Today you decide to move. Traveling light, heading straight for the southern forest. Passing through the familiar Baishan woods, you keep exploring deeper. The mist in the forest gets thicker and thicker. The tall trees block out the sky and the sun. Suddenly, you faintly hear the sound of rushing water. Your heart skips a beat. It's a stream. You follow the sound and race ahead. Finally, a clear creek appears before your eyes. You walk upstream along the creek. You find a spot backed by a hillside. It's a flat, open area. This is the place? You clear out the weeds and excess trees. Without hesitation, you use the shelter relocation scroll. With a flash of white light, your familiar home appears on this newly resource-rich land. Once you've settled in, you immediately take out the 3 animal traps and set them up along routes where animals might pass, so you can return to Bashan Woods and continue your great career as a lumberjack. Right at that moment, a buzzing sound comes. You look up. Not far away, in the hollow of a big locust tree, there's actually a giant beehive. The thought of honey makes your eyes light up. You quickly run back to your shelter, light up the soaked sawdust and damp leaves, and smoke the beehive with thick smoke. An hour later, most of the bees are woozy from the smoke, fallen all over the ground. You tentatively step on one. The system shows no reaction. You're a bit disappointed, but you keep cleaning up the bees on the ground. Unexpectedly, when you're halfway through cleaning, a flash of light, a Prosperwood supply crate appears out of nowhere. Your eyes light up. You move even faster. After you finish cleaning up all the fallen bees, you actually get another bronze supply crate. You suppress the urge to destroy the whole beehive. After all, a dungeon that reliably produces supply crates is way better than draining the resources all at once. Before it gets dark, you rush back to collect the traps. The first one is empty. The second one was triggered, but the prey escaped. All that's left is a tuft of rabbit fur. You sigh and head for the lost one. The trap makes squeaky noises. From far away, you hear a piercing cry. You're delighted. Push aside the grass. A colorful wild pheasant is bound by ropes, struggling fiercely. Harvest time. Back at the shelter, you hurriedly build a nest for the pheasant and feed it some beans. Once that's done, you finally have time to sit down and perform the most sacred unboxing ritual. Prosperwood supply crate, honey bread, stone shovel, fishing rod. Nothing too special. You take a deep breath and open the bronze supply crate. First item, ancient beast trap crafting scroll. Your eyes go wide. Just what you wanted. Second item, a bicycle. You roll your eyes. Can you even ride this in the forest? But when you see the third item, you instantly hold your breath. It's a scroll radiating soft golden light. Name, Beast Taming Scroll. Quality, superior. Use, can tame beasts below superior quality. Common quality, 100% success rate. Good quality, 80% success rate. Superior quality, 30% success rate. You're so excited, you're trembling all over. You burst out laughing. I really am the chosen one. No one can match my luck. You ponder which fierce beast to tame. Right then, a message pops up in the virtual survival guide. It's from Morong Zoo. He actually collected for you dozens of green vines as thick as a baby's arm on his own swampland. He's truly helping you out when you need it most. You feel a warm glow in your heart. Just got the blueprint for beast traps. And now the materials are delivered right to your door. You accept the vines and instantly trade 50 milliliters of spring water in return. By the way, you ask how things are looking on his side before the cold snap arrives. Can the shelter be upgraded to level 3? Morong Zoo replies with a hint of worry. There's enough wood, but still short over 200 units of stone. It's a swamp here. Stone is scarce, and the pickaxe is only common quality. It'll probably be hard to gather enough in the next 2 days. A swamp you're feeling a bit helpless too. That place is damp and chilly. Swamps everywhere. Definitely one of the worst starts. But then you think, and suddenly ask if the soil there is really fertile. Yeah, it's pretty loose. But the sunlight is awful. Can't grow anything. You nod in understanding. Swamp's leaf mold soil is naturally top-grade fertilizer. You immediately promise, I'll help with the stone. Just help me dig soil these few days. Deal? I'll treat you to a meal. Trying to get me to work for food, huh? Morongzu actually jokes with you. You twitch your lips. It's just a labor contract. Meals included but not lodging. Deal, boss.
His boss Sue makes you laugh?
Couldn't have guessed that quiet, standoffish girl from high school has become so down-to-earth during the apocalypse. You don't hesitate either. Directly trade 50 milliliters of spring water and exchange for 200 units of stone in the market to give to him. Upgrade the shelter first. Otherwise, the level 2 wooden cabin can't survive the cold. After dealing with your old classmate, you start sweeping the marketplace. The cold snap is coming. Food and warm supplies are shooting up in price. You're glad you stocked up early. Your goal is clear: to collect those items that have long-term importance for future development. Soon, a product catches your eye. Name: seller. Quality: good. Use: creates a 20 square meter basement. Comes with a ventilation system. This thing can expand your shelter space. Plus, it's warm in winter, cool in summer underground. Definitely a great item. You see the seller needs food and warm clothing? Test the waters with a bit of 100 milliliters of spring water. The other party doesn't reply right away, so you keep busy. Browse for over an hour more. Your eyes are getting blurry. Right at that moment, Han Wu's message arrives, with a selfie attached. In the photo, his normally rugged face is swollen like a pig's head, eyes squinting into slits, looking totally defeated. Sue, little brother, do you have any healing potions left? Han Wu, did you poke a hornet's nest? Han Wu is nearly in tears. Don't ask, I just passed by a tree. The hive fell right on my face. You can't help but twitch your eye, trying hard not to laugh. Meanwhile, you notice a term in his message. Good quality, poison bee king. Your mind starts turning. A bold idea forms. Han Wu, did you bring the hive back? Is the bee king still alive? Han Wu is confused, but still gives you the battered hive and the half-dead bee king in a trade. Without hesitation, you send over your last healing potion right away. Looking at the adult fist-sized creature in your hand, the pitch-black Xuanmo queen bee, you didn't hesitate to use that precious wild beast taming scroll. After a flash of white light, you vividly sensed a mysterious connection forming between yourself and this fierce queen bee. It worked! Excited, you try giving commands, and discover that, although the queen bee isn't very smart, it does understand your simple instructions. Next, you used 100 units of charcoal to trade with another seller for 200 units of Qingxi stone. You barely hesitated, immediately using these hard stones to build a wall around your shelter. A wall that was 25 meters tall and 30 centimeters thick, made of blue stone, rose from the ground, completely protecting your home. A sense of security washed over you. Right after, you enabled the seller option. In the corner of your bedroom, a staircase suddenly appeared leading downward. You grab an oil lamp and head down, and find a simple 20 square meter space before you. Though it's not livable yet, having extra space is always a plus.
Day 6.
You woke up to your own series of sneezes. Caught a cold, you quickly gulped some spring water, and finally felt better. You set aside part of your breakfast to trade with Murong Zhu, which included a piece of meat and a honey bread. For you, it's just another breakfast. But for him, it might be his entire day's ration. As soon as daylight broke, you brought the newly tamed spinning wood bee swarm straight to the ordinary bee hive you discovered yesterday. Your plan was simple: take over their hive. The black tiger bee's combat power surprised you. They practically bulldozed straight into the other hive's tree hole. And before long, a fierce black queen bee flew out, carrying a trembling yellow tree bee queen in its mouth. You were overjoyed and immediately returned to your shelter with both bee swarms. You used freshly chopped Beishan wood to finish collecting materials and built the shulan, a very rudimentary wooden shed. But once you put the tree bee swarm and the wild chicken inside, they indeed settled down quite a bit. System-produced items are always top quality. You nodded in satisfaction at everything. Now, just wait for harvest season. You were about to go chop a few more trees. But who would have thought? As soon as you stepped outside, an enormous surprise landed right on your head. In the nearby creek, a flash of blue-green light shimmered, instantly catching your eye. Bronze supply crate. The surprise was so sudden, it made you pause for a moment. But since it's not your first time, you quickly regained your composure. Walking over to the west side, you grabbed a wooden pole and dragged the box over. You wondered, what good stuff could a box from the water have? Not bothering to wait, you chose to open it right there. A flash of starlight made your heart race. 3 items lay quietly in the box. Premium pond carp, premium stone star moon algae, premium. You had thought the pond was just like an animal pen. But after checking its info, wow, this thing can actually expand your shelter yard directly. and it doesn't count toward the area. Name, premium pond. Function, holds water. Can breed aquatic life. Built-in drainage feature. Description, 20 square meters not included in shelter area. Definitely a magical item, especially for those lacking water. But for you, it's not that useful, since you live next to a creek. When you looked at the other two items, you realized just how amazing the box was. The carp can be raised right in the pond, and Stone Star Moon algae is the real treasure. Name, King Date. Premium function 1, purifies water quality, keeps water clean, drinkable. 2, maintains water temperature. Fully covered water areas can block air, and to some extent keep underwater temperature stable. When fully mature, can be used as a vegetable, provides various vitamins. Description, multifunctional economic crop. You couldn't help but gasp. Purifies water, keeps the water warm, and you can eat it as a vegetable. This is practically tailor-made for you. With this, the pond won't freeze in winter. Now you can raise fish. Not to mention, it's food itself. You rub your face. It feels like you're dreaming. With this setup of pond, crucian carp, and King algae, you've just built an aquaculture system. No need to chop trees anymore. You instantly toss away the axe in your hand. You've had enough of days of hard labor. So you immediately put your tools back in the shelter and start setting up the pond. You pick a spot right next to Shulin, near the yard. With a flash of white light, a 4 by 5 meter, 15 meter deep bluestone pond rises from the ground. Next, you grab a wooden bucket and start carrying water from the stream. Your physical strength is now far beyond what it used to be. You make 4 or 5 dozen trips back and forth and manage to fill the pond halfway. Though you're exhausted, looking at the shimmering water in the pond, you can't help but feel completely satisfied. You toss in 10 lively crucian carp and the King algae. All at once, a few King algae leaves, like giant lotus leaves, instantly cover the water's surface. You scoop out a few extra leaves, just enough to cover the pond. The King leaves you scooped out are half a square meter each. That's enough to eat for a week. Nice, we'll have an extra dish tonight. And let Han and Marong Zhu have a taste too. You're happily making plans in your head, but there's still a key problem to solve. Fish can't survive in oxygenless, stagnant water. 2 ideas flash through your mind. Building a water wheel is too complicated. Diverting water now, that's doable. No sooner said than done. You run into the woods and chop down over a dozen thick bamboo stalks. You tie them together, connecting them one by one, and draw water directly from the upstream flow, 60 meters away. Although a lot leaks along the way, at least a thin stream still trickles steadily into the pond. Next, you carefully open the drainage outlet a bit to keep the water level balanced. Just like that, a live water circulation system is up and running. After finishing all this, it's already late. You decide to go check the animal traps, and unexpectedly, your luck continues. Out of 9 traps, 1 actually caught a 5 or 6 pound bamboo rat, and another had a half-dead gray rabbit. You quickly finish off the rabbit and get 5 low-grade cuts of meat in total, plus a rabbit pelt and a basic wood supply crate. Even more to your surprise, on the way back home, you find another premium wood supply crate. Back at the shelter, you discover the potatoes you previously planted have all frozen. Low-grade plants can't survive weather like this. There's just no way for them to make it. Maybe it's time to upgrade the built-in garden in your shelter. You immediately open the manual and see the garden requires 100 units of mid-grade lumber. That's easy enough. You simply go to the trading market and trade 20 milliliters of spring water for the materials. You hit the build button, and after a flash of light, a 9 square meter garden appears in the yard. You grab a handful of soil and find the quality has indeed improved a lot. But when you check the class, it's still low grade. Nope, still won't do. You can't help but frown. Just then, Marong Zhu trades over some rotten leaf potatoes, over 300 pounds of them. You check them out hopefully and find the soil quality excellent. But the class is still low grade. How on earth do you get mid-grade soil? You just can't figure it out. Suddenly, you have a flash of inspiration. What is the biggest difference between mid-grade items and low-grade items? Spirit energy meat, tools, lumber, they all break the quality limit thanks to spirit energy. So how do you add spirit energy to soil? Using mid-grade plants and animals? Lotus root powder. The cost is way too high. You can't even bear to eat it yourself. Wait, spring water. Your heart skips a beat. Right, premium spring water has even more spirit energy. This idea excites you instantly. You rush inside, take out your precious spring water, and carefully pour about 10 milliliters onto a handful of soil. You stare at the soil's details, and as the spring water soaks in about 10 milliliters worth, suddenly the soil's status changes dramatically. Success, mid-grade soil. Name, Spirit Spring Soil. Mid-grade. Effect, protects seeds and roots, and makes them more likely to survive. It can also speed up plant growth. Description, a high-quality soil catalyzed by premium spring water. Protects the roots, enhances growth rate. This is exactly what you've always dreamed of. However, a new problem arises. 10 milliliters of spring water can only convert 100 grams of soil. You only have 1,000 milliliters of spring water left, which means you can make at most 20 pounds of spirit spring soil. That's nowhere close to enough to cover the whole garden. So you just find 2 used supply crates. Fill all 20 pounds of spirit spring soil in them, and then carefully plant the winter wheat seeds. Mid-grade soil with mid-grade seeds has got to guarantee perfect survival rate. With the soil taken care of, you send a message to Marong Zhu, telling him not to dig soil tomorrow, and to collect vines instead. Tomorrow is day 7 already. The cold wave could hit any time. You can't help feeling a sense of fear about the unknown. The only way to rest easy is full preparation. You head back inside. Use 200 milliliters of spring water to trade for a large amount of wood at the market, and throw it all in the workshop to make charcoal. Next, you start preparing dinner. Tonight's dinner is especially rich. Bean sprout stir-fried meat, plus a big plate of steamed kingu berries. You purposely make some extra, and bring a serving to both Marong Zhu and Han Wu. Unexpectedly, just after you drop it off, Marong Zhu sends you a message. Marong Zhu and Sumi, is the dish you brought edible? Why do I feel so stuffed after eating it? You're startled, then realize the girl probably never had mid-grade food before. You reply helplessly, don't worry. That's made with mid-grade ingredients. They're very nourishing, so eat slowly. Get some exercise. You'll digest it better. After that, Marong Zhu is suddenly silent, probably too embarrassed to reply. After a while, she finally messages again, this time attaching an item detail. Marong Zhu, thanks again. By the way, today I opened a basic wood supply crate and got a mid-grade item from it. See if you can use it. At first, you don't think much of it, but the moment you see the item info, your eyes go wide. Name, Growth Catalyst, mid-grade. Effect, accelerates plant growth rates by 100% for low-grade, 80% for mid-grade, and 20% for premium grade. Description, a magical formula that speeds up plant maturity. Damn, you almost jump up from excitement. That's useful, extremely useful. Classmate Dao, I won this one. Name your price. Anything you want. Marong Zhu, it's yours. Consider it payback for treating me to a fancy meal. A premium quality food item. Exchanged for a prop worth 100 times more. You feel like you scored an unbelievable deal. You immediately agree enthusiastically. For the next 7 days, I'll cover all your meals. Thanks a lot, Boss Sue. The deal is done. You take that small bottle of catalyst. It feels like you're holding your entire future in your hands. Glazed fairy rice, winter wheat, watchthorn. Who should you use it on? You agonize over the decision for a while. Ultimately, you decide to spread it evenly. You pour half of the catalyst into the supply box where the winter wheat is planted. Next, you witness a miracle firsthand. The seeds sprout and grow within just a few minutes. They bloom and bear fruit. Inside the small supply box, dozens of heavy winter wheat stalks spring up instantly. Each grain of wheat is as big as your thumb. They're so plump they're about to burst. That's when you realize, maybe you poured too much catalyst. The winter wheat has ripened all at once. You're heartbroken. You rush to harvest them and quickly sow new seeds. The new seeds absorb the leftover nutrients, but stop growing after sprouting. Even so, the harvest is still astounding. 13 stalks of winter wheat yield a total of 15 pounds. It takes you over 5 hours to shell all the wheat and grind it into flour. You're sweating buckets from exhaustion, but your heart is bursting with joy. Then you take the remaining half bottle of catalyst and pour it onto the roots of the watchthorn without hesitation. The reaction of the watchthorn is even more intense than that of the wheat. The mother plant grows like crazy, shooting up to over 2 meters tall in an instant. The vines thicken to the size of your arm, covered in sharp spikes. Even more surprising to you, around the mother plant, dozens of green vines burst out of the ground, quickly growing over 1 meter tall. They wrap the right wall of the shelter tightly. Finally, it begins to reproduce. You're thrilled beyond belief. Looking at the thicket of thorns before you, you have no doubt they're enough to fend off premium-grade wild beasts. What unbelievable luck. You're deeply moved. A single supply box from Prosperwood has completely transformed your defense setup. That's when you remember. You still have 2 unopened supply boxes left today. You rub your hands together, hoping you can share in Morongzu's good fortune. Papa knitted sweater, ordinary quality. Cotton pants, ordinary quality. Instant noodles, 5 packs, ordinary quality. Beast skin jacket, ordinary quality. Soap clothing, ordinary quality. Fateful card, ordinary quality. As expected, they're all ordinary items. But that fateful card catches your eye. Name: Fateful card. Ordinary quality effect, receive 0 to 10 soul coins. Reward intro: obtain a small amount of universal currency for the virtual world. Universal currency, soul coins. You immediately realize this might be a signaling system. There's a good chance a unified currency is coming soon. You make a mental note of this. You scratch off the card on a whim and receive 8 quaint white coins. After wrapping up everything, you're about to go to sleep. Morongzu suddenly sends another message. Morongzu, anonymous. Look, it's snowing. You walk to the window and see snowflakes have started falling outside. The chat channel is completely blowing up. Everyone is talking about the sudden snowstorm. The snow has arrived. Cold front is approaching. A sense of unexplained panic and unease floods your heart. Right then, Han Wu's chat box pops up suddenly. Han Wu, Su-ming, bro, need more food? You reply, I've stocked up quite a bit, but I don't know how long this cold wave will last. I'm not too confident. Wu's right. I've got an idea. We need to use the last bit of time wisely and stockpile another batch of food. He immediately sends an item info. Name: Beast Sect Exploration Scroll. Premium effect: explore traces of wild beasts within a 20-kilometer radius. Han Wu, I've almost wiped out the wild beasts near me, but there must still be plenty nearby. I'll come over tomorrow to help you clear them out. Let's stock up on meat together. You feel a spark of joy in your heart. But then you become troubled again. Brother Han's idea is great, but I'm not strong enough. I just hope I don't get taken out by wild beasts. Han Wu, forget about that. He sends another item info. You look and are completely shocked. Name: Alliance Contract. Premium. Effect: both parties become allies upon use. Allies gain special privileges. 1. A small teleport array appears in both shelters. Can be used once per week. 2. Allies cannot harm each other. 3. Can ask allies for help. Description: true companionship and mutual assistance. I traded a lot of food for this, Han Wu said. Go ahead, sign it. Without hesitation, you sign your name. In an instant, near the entrance to your cellar, a circle of silvery white light suddenly appears, a teleport array. With this, tomorrow's plan can go smoothly. After you and Han Wu agree on a time, You turn in early for the night. That night, the snowfall gets heavier and heavier. The temperature drops sharply to -20 degrees. The entire world of the virtual realm falls into a deathly silence. Countless people face dawn in fear and cold. Early the next morning, the sky is still pitch black. The icy wind howls outside the window, like ghosts wailing and wolves howling. You force yourself to endure the cold and crawl out of your warm bed. You add charcoal to the fireplace, then start making breakfast. Today you plan to make extra, to properly host your soon-to-arrive ally. You use your newly harvested flour to cook 4 big portions of shredded meat noodles. King-style cold-tossed noodles. You trade and send them to Han-Woo and Marong-Zhu separately. And you especially remind Marong-Zhu to be careful when going outside. After breakfast, you get some exercise. Han-Woo's teleport request comes in. You click accept. A flash of light. A tall, strong-faced man appears in front of you. It's your first time in this world, seeing someone alive besides yourself. Even before you see him, you hear his hearty laughter. Su Ming, my brother, your shelter is impressive. You even have a cellar. Han-Woo is tall, sports a short beard, wrapped in a thick leather coat. Looks wild and untamed. Welcome, Brother Han. You greet him with a smile. Don't mention it. I should thank you instead. That breakfast made the girl Zhao Yo so happy. It's been ages since she's had hot noodles. Han-Woo carelessly grabs a chair and sits down. If she likes them, take some flour with you when you leave. You two hit it off instantly. After some brief chit-chat, you quickly get to the main topic. Brother Han, can we hunt in this crazy weather? You look at the blizzard outside, a bit worried. Han-Woo frowns. If the snow doesn't keep getting heavier, we can go out. Just worried the snow gets too deep and blocks the way back. Since the system says the cold wave hits on day 7, most likely we can still do things today. You figure you'd wait until it's light to check the situation. Yeah, there's still some time before sunrise. You start preparing tools and ask Han-Woo for tips on using knives. After some guidance from him, you feel your knife skills have improved a lot. 40 minutes later, a miracle happens. The blizzard outside suddenly stops. There's even a ghostly pale sun in the sky. Light instantly floods the snowy ground. The whole world brightens up. Looks like the gamble paid off. You can go out today. A big smile blooms on your face. The chat channel is now completely buzzing. Great. Make the most of the time, brothers. It's so slippery out there. I fell as soon as I left the house. The starved ghost upstairs. It's so cold. You'd be better off sleeping at home. Can anyone lend me a jacket? I'm freezing here. If I find food, I'll share half with you. Keep dreaming, get lost. This last day, everyone cherishes it even more. Today's weather, clear skies. Daylight lasts 4 hours. Temperature between -8 and 0 degrees. Climate trend, last day before the cold wave arrives. Brother Han, we only have 4 hours. We need to hurry. After checking the weather, you say immediately. Okay, Han-Woo replies. He then takes out the Beast Sect Exploration Scroll. A radar-like map unfurls instantly on the scroll, revealing the landscape within 20 kilometers in sharp detail. Clusters of red dots flash on the map, densely packed. It makes your scalp tingle. There's so many wild beasts around me. You gasp in shock. Don't panic, Han-Jun explains, pointing at the map. This thing doesn't distinguish size. Ants and mosquitoes count too. That cluster of dots is probably an ant nest. This lone dot near the mountain. 80% chance it's a big predator. We'll start with these lone ones, got it. The method is a bit rough, but better than running around blindly. Alright, let's go. Han-Woo rolls up the scroll, about to lead the way, but you suddenly call him back. Hold on, Brother Han. I'll bring a helper. Helper? Han-Woo turns back puzzled. Next second, his face instantly darkens. A black bee with a wiggling big backside buzzes over to your side.
It's the Zhuanmo Bee King, Su Ming.
This is Han-Woo, staring at the culprit who once stung him half to death. His eyes twitch violently. You quickly grab it. Bee King says a bit awkwardly. It's the one you gave me last time. I've tamed it. If you want, beat him up again. Now he doesn't fight back, so whatever. Han Wu waves his hand helplessly. Since it's yours now, it's part of the team. This guy's venom is really fierce. He asks, how about his bee swarm? How is their recovery? Black tiger bees, over 100. I added 800 tree bees for him. Should be enough for now. So you two bring nearly 1,000 bees and march into the snowy woods. The first target is a wolf den 500 meters south of the shelter. You sneak up to the entrance. Inside, you find some extremely skinny wild wolves, barely bigger than dogs, clearly starved for several days. Great chance. Han Wu's eyes light up. These wolves are really weak, easy to deal with. Before he finishes, he's already drawn his bow. Whoosh! The sound of an arrow cutting through the air. A sharp arrow shoots straight into the den. A wild wolf collapses with a howl, letting out a mournful cry. The remaining 4 wolves instantly wake up, looking around alertly. Suming, they're even weaker than I thought. Let's just attack directly. With your signal. The Zhuanmu Bee King immediately led the swarm like a dark cloud. They suddenly rushed toward the cave, heading straight for the wolf's most vulnerable neck. Meanwhile, Han Yu charged out like a tiger descending from the mountain. Faster than the bee swarm, the wolves, caught up by the bees, had absolutely no way to fight back. Han Wu's blade flashed. The battle was over within a few minutes.
He was completely unharmed.
You watched from the side, secretly shocked. Brother Han's strength has probably reached the high-quality level. But the rewards were pitifully meager. 5 wolves only dropped 12 pieces of regular meat, 2 high-quality meat cuts, and 5 famu supply crates. This cursed weather, the beasts suffer more than we do. Han Wu sighed. But getting something just after heading out really boosted your confidence. The next target is a bamboo forest 1 kilometer away. The map shows a dozen light spots. Han Wu judged that it must be a nest of bamboo rats. Sure enough, you found dozens of rat holes in the bamboo forest. To deal with these things hiding underground, the simplest method is to smoke them out. You blocked most of the entrances, leaving only 2. Then you started a fire at one entrance and filled it with thick smoke. After a bit, as the smoke spread, at the other end of the tunnel, fat bamboo rats scrambled to crawl out, just in time for you to ambush them. Han Wu took them out one by one, like slicing vegetables. Eventually you hunted 9 plump, fat bamboo rats, gathered 9 pieces of meat and 9 supply crates. You even raided their winter food storage, taking everything. This haul was almost scary. Considering carrying so many supplies is inconvenient, you decided to first haul them back to the shelter. After recharging your strength, you set out again. Before starting off, you suddenly pointed to a spot on the map where red dots were densely clustered and suggested, Brother Han, let's take a detour to check this place first. Han Wu understood at a glance. The swarm here looks small, just right to supplement your strength. You found it quickly, a beehive hanging from a giant tree dozens of meters high. For a quick finish, you decided not to play tricks. You set the tree on fire directly. The raging fire climbed up the trunk, quickly forcing the Bee King out. That's the one. You immediately ordered the Zhuanbi King to lead the charge. What you didn't expect was, in the opponent's bee swarm, there were actually 3 high-quality tree bees as strong as a Bee King. The Zhuanmo Bee King was instantly surrounded. The battle quickly became intense. Brother Han, hurry. You made your move. No problem. Han Wu drew his bow. Bang, bang. 2 more arrows shot out, knocking 2 high-quality tree bees out of the air with precision. With the pressure lifted, the Zhuanmo Bee King gave the enemy Bee King a thorough beating, soon subduing him. The rest of the bee swarm surrendered as well. Your tree bee swarm expanded again, reaching more than 2,300 bees. Their strength surged. After clearing the battlefield, you looked at the expanding bee swarm and the supply crates on the ground. You were grinning from ear to ear. Brother Han, I never imagined hunting would pay off this much. It's only because the two of us teamed up. Han Wu seriously reminded you. If it had been ordinary people, those 5 wild wolves would have wiped them out. Don't ever get careless. You put away your smile and regained your caution. 20 minutes later, you arrived at the foot of a cliff dozens of meters high. This is your ultimate goal. Brushing aside the snow on the ground, huge footprints appeared before you. Wild boars. You both recognized them immediately. Your hearts tightened. Han Wu said gravely, "Look at these footprints. The wild boars here are enormous, with great strength. Adult males are probably top-tier high-quality level. I don't have much chance solo. There are 4 in the cave." You frowned and thought. Probably 1 male, 1 female, and 2 piglets. Brother Han, how much chance do we have together? With the bee swarm, there's a shot, but the losses will be heavy. If the bees are gone, we can rebuild. Your eyes became determined. How many meat cuts can 2 adult wild boars provide? We can even catch those 2 piglets and raise them. A top-quality loot crate dropped. The quality must be excellent too. This deal is definitely worth it, in my opinion. You even convinced Han Wu. Let's do it, but your bee swarm needs to go first. Wear them down. The plan is simple. Just use the bee swarm as cannon fodder. Exhaust the wild boar's stamina. But regular tree bee stingers can't even pierce the wild boar's thick hide. You fall into thought about poison. If only we had something highly toxic. Poison, that's right. Let the tree bee stingers get coated in poison. Then order suicide attacks. You explain. Who says we don't have any? Han Wu suddenly slaps his thigh and bursts out laughing with excitement. Your idea is genius. And I just happen to have that. You both immediately return to the shelter. Han Wu has Xiao Yu traded over. A dark green venom sac. A premium quality venom sac from a snake. Its toxicity is extremely high. It can bring down a wolf in minutes. Plus, it's paralyzing, so it won't affect eating the meat. Everything is ready. You return once more to the wild boar cave. You select a suicide squad of 1,000 tree bees. Let their stingers take turns being dipped in snake venom. Then they charge bravely into the cave. Very soon, angry roars shake the cave like an earthquake. Before long, a giant wild boar almost 2 meters tall bursts out. Its back is already covered in tree bees. Right after that, the sow also runs out with her 2 piglets. You and Han Wu hide in the shadows, watching the boar as massive as a small hill. You can't help but gulp. If we took that thing head-on, not even 10 lives would be enough. It's so strong good thing you thought of using poison. Han Wu says, still shaken. The boar charges around furiously, but under your command, the bee swarm keeps attacking its rear neck. That's its blind spot. Soon enough, the back of the boar's neck is covered with wounds. The snake venom quickly enters its body through those. After a dozen or so minutes, the giant beast is now slumped against the stone wall, breathing heavily and nearly unable to move. You succeed, and a look of pure joy is on your face. You bring down the sow the same way. Then Han Wu gets hands on, giving both giant beasts a swift end. The haul this time can only be described as amazing. 2 mountain-backed boars. You harvest a total of 38 slabs of premium-grade pork, 6 units of essence of life, 8 large boar bones, 15 pounds of lard and 2 bronze supply crates. Both piglets are also tied up by you guys. They become your new housemates. Just when you thought the raid was over, you make an even greater discovery in the boar's den. There's an amazing find. At the very end of the cave, there's no food, but instead a pile of broken, rusty swords and blades. The swords are rough in workmanship, definitely not system issued. And they're clearly very old. Could there have been other humans in this world before us? A storm of questions rises in your heart. This discovery makes you even more curious about this virtual realm. You have even more questions about this place. As the day gets late and it starts to snow again, you don't have time to think further. You quickly pack all the loot from the hunt and haul it back to the shelter with much effort. When you finally get back, you're both exhausted, but you can't hide the joy inside. Han Wu is panting heavily while starting to tour your shelter, his look shifting from tired to amazed. Su Ming didn't notice when he first arrived, but you have developed this place so well. Animal pens, fields, vegetable gardens. Whoa, there's even a huge pond. There are even fish living in it. Wow, that's rice growing over there. And there's even wheat here. Don't touch the rice, it's premium grade. It's really valuable. You remind him with concern. Han Wu yanks his hand back in a hurry. Whoa! And there's even a wild chicken. These 2 beehives and the blue moon dates in the pond are all premium quality. What's this? Why is there such a huge patch of thorns? Han Wu is gawking around your yard, and his shock is impossible to hide. He'd always thought he was developing faster than anyone else. His hunting skills brought in way more resources than most people. He visited you this time, mainly to help out as big brother. He figured he'd clear some dangers for you and help you stockpile some food for winter. But he never expected to realize after coming here that maybe he's the country bumpkin. Your development is not slower than his at all. In fact, in some areas, you're even stronger. Seeing Han Wu looking so bewildered, you can only laugh helplessly. Bro, it's getting dark. Let's split the spoils. Oh, right. Split the loot. Han Wu slaps his forehead, finally remembering the main thing. You lay out all today's spoils on the ground. 21 ordinary pork chops, 40 premium pork chops, plus essence of life, big bones, lard, vol fangs, and those 2 live, bouncing wild boars. You 2 split everything evenly. Han Wu generously gives you an extra share of all the odd-numbered items. Among them, the essence of life is made into healing potions on the spot, 3 bottles for each person. The remaining 14 prosperous wood supply crates and 2 bronze supply crates are split right down the middle too. Just as you are celebrating a good haul, disaster strikes suddenly. Almost instantly, the last bit of light in the sky is swallowed up. Heavy clouds press down like mountains overhead. Everything is plunged into pitch-black darkness. A biting chill rises, cutting right into your bones, and you can't help but shiver. I should hurry back. Zhao Yao is at home alone, I'm worried. Han Wu says seriously, taking his share of the spoils with him. His figure disappears into the teleportation array. You immediately start the final preparations for the coming cold snap. You build a windbreak wall for the beehive out of wood. Stuff the chicken coop with dry grass. As for the wild boar you haven't tamed yet, you just lock it in the cellar. To your surprise, with the protection of blue moon algae, the temperature of the pond water miraculously stays at 0 degrees. Perfect. Not freezing. With everything dealt with, you head back inside. By now, the indoor temperature has dropped to -20 degrees. You stoke the fireplace as hot as it will go, then dive under your 12-pound wool blanket. Outside, the wind and snow howl like ghosts and wolves. But inside, there's the warmth of the fire and the safety of your shelter. The stark contrast helps you feel a rare moment of peace. You pull out the virtual realm survival guide, and Narong Zhu's message instantly pops up. Besides the vines collected today, and his panic about this cold snap, the snow here is bigger than my fist. It's already half a meter high in just a few minutes. You were just about to offer a few words of comfort. Suddenly, a blinding announcement occupied everyone's screen. Zujin announcement. Congratulations on successfully surviving the 7-day newbie period. The first trial, the cold snap, has officially arrived. At the same time, the newbie protection mechanism is completely cancelled. First, the mist sanctuary disappears. Beasts will no longer be restricted to specific zones. Second, information prompts for items in the wild are cancelled. Third, Greyhawk supply crates will appear, as well as superior and rare grade items. Finally, at 12 o'clock tonight, a comprehensive assessment will be conducted for all survivors, and rewards will be given. The assessment criteria include multiple aspects. This announcement is packed with information. Removing the sanctuary means danger is skyrocketing. Removing information prompts means survival difficulty has increased yet again. But the appearance of Greyhawk supply boxes and higher quality items also brings brand new opportunities. The most crucial part is the comprehensive assessment at 12 o'clock tonight. You are very curious about your own development speed. Among the remaining 5 billion plus people, where exactly you rank. At this moment, the chat channel has completely exploded. It's over. We have to face fierce beasts head on now. Requesting a carry from the big shots. I'm the campus belle of the finance department. 90% new and I can act cute. I'm divorced with 2 kids. Mature and gentle. And I have all kinds of special skills. Brothers, I feel like my house is shaking. I have a level 2 shelter. I never even thought about upgrading. Then take your blades and go to heaven. In the midst of the chaos, using the seed pods you previously looked down on, you stirred up a storm in the trading market. Those golden seed pods. You traded them all for various supplies you urgently needed. 380 units of ordinary wood. 2,140 units of fine wood. 1,360 units of fine ore. Also a toilet. Beast taming scroll. Ascension scroll. And even a bag of growth-promoting powder. The toilet allows you to say goodbye to the pain of braving the snow, to handle your business outside in the middle of the night. The growth powder can make your bee colony multiply and grow quickly, but that Ascension scroll is the real treasure.
Name.
Ascension scroll. Fine grade. Effect. Can upgrade common grade items to fine grade. Can be used 3 times. Where should this scroll be used? To maximize its value? You scratched your head for a long time without a clue. So you sent the info to Hanwoo and Marongzhu. Marongzhu's suggestion was to upgrade instant noodles to fine grade. You retorted by sending a photo, piled with fine grade steaks and flour, shutting her down immediately. It was Hanwoo whose words woke you up. Can this scroll be used on living creatures? Right, creatures. Your eyes lit up instantly. Common grade items are worthless. But if you upgrade a common grade Zhuanmo bee to fine grade, how many times would its combat power multiply? Try it on yourself first. Hanwoo's logic was crystal clear. If it doesn't work, then use it on the Zhuanmo bee. If it succeeds, it proves it can be used on beasts. Then the last chance will be saved for that little steel spine mountain boar. I saw that our 2 are exactly 1 male and 1 female. You were ecstatic, as expected of a veteran. What a sharp idea. You immediately used the scroll on yourself. A few seconds later, the system prompted, cannot be used. Although a bit disappointed, you immediately rushed out of the yard into the snow. In the beast pen, on a tamed common grade black tiger bee, you used the scroll. You held your breath, staring intently. 5 seconds later, the black tiger bee's size increased sharply. Its carapace became black and shiny. Its aura was instantly on par with the bee queen. It worked. You were overjoyed. This means, as long as you tame that little steel spine mountain boar, you'll have a powerful fine grade combat force. And it's a pair, which means renewable, powerful combat power. The value of this sublimation scroll instantly became immeasurable. You hold back your excitement and immediately enter the trading market to find that quite a few people are still selling these scrolls. And the prices aren't high. Before anyone else discovers this secret, you act decisively and easily trade some ordinary food for 3 scrolls. The remaining sellers start raising their prices. You show no mercy and launch a psychological battle.
10 pieces of steak.
You send the cold laugh emoji and stop responding. The seller drops from 9 to 8, all the way down to 2. Guess what? You finally get the 4th scroll for the price of 2 pieces of steak. Using the same method, you manage to get a 5th scroll. The remaining sellers refuse to lower their prices. So you send the information to Hanwoo. Half an hour later, when you search for sublimation scrolls again, the trading market is completely empty. Looks like Brother Han truly has wealth and power. After gathering those scrolls, you don't use them right away. Instead, you decide to wait until the cold snap is over. And the bee swarm grows stronger. It's still early, not yet noon. You decide to open the remaining supply boxes. 7 ordinary wooden boxes. You get a lot of food and warm clothing. And a pretty decent wolf bone bow fine quality. You also make up your mind to start practicing archery tomorrow. Finally, there's the top-tier fine steel halberd wild boar, which dropped a bronze supply box. With a flash of green light, 3 fine-quality items appear. Fine-quality wild boar skin blanket. Fine-quality premium snow boots. Fine-quality holy tower pearl. The first 2 are top-notch warm items, but the last one takes your breath away. Name: Fine-quality holy tower pearl. Function: creates a fog within 2 kilometers around your shelter, causing outsiders to lose their way, making invading creatures get lost. Description: also triggers beasts' curiosity to explore. Area-type items are like double-edged swords, but you instantly come up with a plan. Wait until the cold snap is over. Then develop the bee swarm and defense economy. Once your defense is strong enough, use this pearl to turn 2 kilometers around into your exclusive territory. After finishing with the boxes, you lie on your bed and casually flip through the manual. In just 7 days, humanity has gone from a civilized world to fully adapting to these ruthless survival rules. In the chat channel, the total number of people has dropped from over 7 billion down to over 5 billion and then 2 billion. The passing of life makes you feel inexplicably lost deep inside. Just as your thoughts drift, the bell strikes midnight for everyone. At the same time, a system announcement appears on the survival guide. Poor survivors. Congratulations on surviving 7 days. Next is the comprehensive assessment for all survivors. Are you just one among the masses? Or are you a standout among all survivors? Everything will now be revealed. A rating standard table appears in front of everyone. Rating standard: top 10,000 F, 10,000 to 500,000, last 40%. Assessment begins. At this moment, more than 5 billion shelters worldwide all emit a faint white glow. Everyone holds their breath, nervously awaiting judgment. Your heart pounds in your chest. Han Wu sits upright at his desk with a serious expression. Marongzhu tightly clenches her hands, her palms sweating. At the top of icebergs, in endless deserts, at the bottom of lakes, on the branches of 100-meter tall trees, countless pairs of eyes at the same moment are glued to that small screen.